Is Elon Musk getting fired by Donald Trump? Well, we're hearing today that Trump has told his inner circle that Elon Musk is going to leave his role heading up DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, very soon. Is this just because this was all part of the plan and Elon was only meant to stay for a short amount of time anyway? Or is it because Elon has rocked the boat too much and caused far too much controversy for the Trump administration? Right, guys, I think we had some signs that Elon was going to cause some controversy for the Trump administration when, he at the very beginning of the Trump administration decided to do this. That didn't go down all too well, did it? Now, I mean, we all know that he did not mean for that to be a Nazi salute, but I mean, come on. Did you not have the common sense to think that if you did that, that the mainstream media would go absolutely nuts and everyone online would think that you are some sort of Nazi? So yeah, he's been very vocal on Twitter on all sorts of things. He's got absolute chaos going on with Tesla at the moment, people setting them on fire because of his association with Trump and role in politics. So what is really going on here, guys? Let's take a look at the different possible reasons why Elon Musk is leaving the White House. Please chime in with your comments down below if you are watching along live, because we will have a look at some of those. And before we get into it, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. So first of all, let's have a look at I think it was from about a week or so ago, what Trump had to say about Elon Musk's time eventually coming to an end.
Elon Musk's special government tenure is coming to an end, 130 days, I think another month. Yeah. Do you want him to stay longer, or is it time for him to go back to running his companies in Europe?
Well, I think he's amazing, but I also think he's got a big company to run, and so at some point he's going to be going back. He wants to.
Did you want to keep him around?
I'd keep him as long as I could keep him. He's a very talented guy. I love very smart people, and he's very smart, and he's done a good job. DOGE is, we found numbers that nobody can even believe, like 400 billion, 500 billion. It could be close to $1 trillion by the time they end on different things. And he's led the charge. And you've seen a lot of his people. And these are people that joined up. I would say the high IQ people. I like high IQ people. And they've done a great job. No, at some point, Elon's going to want to go back to his company. I will say he's got, despite the way he's been treated, so he's an American patriot.
So there we go. So that's what Trump had to say, which seemed to suggest, Trump absolutely loves the guy and he's only meant to be there for a certain amount of time. He is, I know some of you are pointing out in the comments that he is considered like he is a special government employee, which means that he has 130 days maximum that he is able to serve in that role. That's perfectly a reasonable reason for him to be leaving. But you would think if things were going well with Elon Musk that you would want to keep him on, give him some other kind of role, keep him involved in the administration in some way if he is doing such an amazing job. And we know he's made huge cuts with DOGE, but he's also, been causing a lot of controversy and being accused of being too big for his boots, trying to tell the place what to do, acting like he's in charge. And also, as I said, like it's potentially going to kill his Tesla business. From Elon Musk's perspective, a reason why he wants to leave that was maybe not anticipated by him, because all the eco-loving lefties that bought Teslas, they now absolutely hate their cars. They don't want to buy them anymore. They're being set on fire. We're having all of these protests. So there are, other things to consider here other than just, oh, Elon Musk has reached the end of 130 days. Therefore, he's not being fired. It's just that's all that's to it, right? I think that if things were going smoothly, that he would have been kept on in some shape or form, even if not as like a permanent employee, but as in some sort of big advisory role or something. If this really is like severing ties, they just go set their separate ways and have nothing to do with each other anymore. I do think that is like him being fired. But anyway, let's have a look at the detail of what's being reported in the Telegraph on this. So this is where there's been some tension with Trump and the team and Elon Musk working together. So his time serving as one of as one of Trump's top advisors has frustrated some cabinet ministers who have privately accused him of overreach. By his own admission, Mr. Musk has taken a chainsaw to the federal workforce since arriving in Washington, resulting in mass firings and the shutdown of entire government departures. The president, however, remains pleased with Mr. Musk despite frustration from those closest to him, and he is likely to retain an informal role and an advisor, according to Politico. Also, in the Telegraph, they're pointing out the fiery cabinet showdown that happened previously. So he was given a seat at a Trump cabinet meeting for the first time, and apparently Mr. Musk was branded a liar by the cabinet members. Sean Duffy, transport secretary, was apparently enraged by Elon's attempts to cull air traffic controllers despite there being a national shortage. And Doug Collins, the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, claimed that operations were being cancelled in Veteran Affairs hospitals because of DOGE cuts. And there was also a disaster when the Republican nominee for the Wisconsin Supreme Court seat, they lost the campaign despite Elon Musk making a donation of $21 million, I believe. Also, another, important point of tension for you guys to look at is this. So Tesla, in a letter, wrote to the Trump administration. We know today that we've got these big tariffs coming in, right? They wrote a letter, Tesla wrote a letter to Donald Trump saying, please, please, please do not put tariffs on the automobile industry. Do not do this to the car industry. They wrote that letter. Elon Musk didn't put his name to that letter, I guess not wanting to upset his buddy too much. But I mean, come on, guys. If there was a letter from Tesla to Donald Trump, we know that Elon Musk must have stamped off on it and had genuine concerns about the tariff policy. Okay, so we're seeing issues there. We're seeing places where they don't align and where they are falling out. And I know you guys are all going nuts in the comments, being like, oh, fake news, not being fired, whatever, right? But I think that Elon Musk would have been kept on. Okay, I know there was this 130-day supposed window, right, of how long you're supposed to be in office for as a special government employee, but clearly there's been huge controversy and huge tensions, and Trump is trying to distance himself from Elon Musk now. That's what I think, right? He's clearly done some good, absolutely great things with DOGE, but is it sustainable keeping this guy on board, right, when he's causing so much chaos? I haven't even got into all the tweets that he puts out and whatnot. And let's also talk about what is happening to Elon Musk's company. Look at this from Elon Musk's perspective. Elon Musk may have wanted to have had a big role in the Trump administration going forwards and continuing, but he's finding that it's causing so much controversy for Tesla that it's just like it's not even going to be worth it. Maybe he should go away from politics and try and, well, I'm sure he'll keep tweeting, but at least, keep at arm's length, right? We've got these letters being put on people's cars saying sorry about your swastika. We've got all these protests outside of like Tesla shops and whatnot. In fact, let's look at a funny video of some protesters outside of a Tesla shop.
No, he needs to get out of our government. We didn't elect him. He needs to go. And
what do you think of Dr. Fauci?
I love Dr. Fauci.
Do you think we elected him?
He was appointed by our president.
So there we go. It's okay for Fauci to be appointed, but Elon Musk not, apparently. You gotta love these lefties anyway. Anyway, I mean, look at your comments. You guys are all going nuts about saying he's not being fired. Let's see what some of you guys had to say. Nothing But the Truth says it's maybe going well with Elon Musk, but he has got shareholders that are all quite worried with the situation that's radical left are doing to him. He's also got to go back to his company. Yeah, so I mean, the question is, right, did Elon Musk want to have been kept on after this 130 days, or was he planning the whole time to go back to focusing on his company? I don't know. I think Elon Musk seemed really excited about being involved in the Trump administration. We know that he's a guy that works insane hours, right? Especially, I mean, when he took over X, right, on top of SpaceX and Tesla and anything, I thought that was insane enough as it is for him to take on that. But then to take on this as well, is it the case that he's burnt out? He has gone past his limit. He was hoping, he's clearly a guy who will take on big other projects when it seems fun, it seems like what he's interested in. Like he took on X when really the guy was already at full capacity, and then he got this opportunity with the Trump administration, and maybe he thought that he would make it a long-term thing, right? But then he's probably realized that not only is he neglecting his companies now because he's not being able to give enough time to them, but it's causing, as you say, the radical left to completely turn against him. And we're having all these protests against Teslas. I even hilariously saw a video earlier of someone who has ripped like the Tesla logos and whatnot off their Cybertruck and put a sticker on it that says it's a Toyota instead. I mean, it's just, yeah. It's not going well for Tesla, and it's been so hard for him to get Tesla to the point of being a profitable company. Like, it nearly went under so many times. He finally gets to the point where Tesla is looking like it's going to be a successful company, and then he gets involved in politics, and that screws it all over for him, right? Like, he may be the richest guy in the world, but you've got to realize that his companies are often running on an absolute knife edge. Steve Mann says if he stayed, he would have been properly employed. So this is the point. This is the point that I'm trying to make, guys. I know so many of you are saying, like, why is this a headline? He's not being fired. But I do feel like this kind of is like him being fired. Like you guys will know, right? Those of you who have had jobs who know that often you might get a job and you're put on like a temporary contract to start with, right? And you basically got a job there. But once that temporary contract comes to an end, and the expectation is that they're going to put you on a permanent contract, right? If they say, nope, sorry, we're not going to do that, it's not worked out after, the temporary trial period, it's basically like being fired. Okay, guys? And, you may beg to differ, but I don't think it's wrong to make the suggestion that you think that this is him being fired. But, we can disagree, and that's all what it is. Just looking at some more of your comments. At least the lefties can't keep saying Musk is the president, lol. Yeah, but he'll still be talking about politics on Twitter, no doubt. I don't know how he gets time. I swear this guy literally he must have created a time portal or something, because he manages to, as well as all the jobs he has, all the companies he has to run and DOGE to run. Like, you'd think this would be a guy who has to have his phone on airplane mode all the time to get his work done. But no, he's tweeting all the time on top of it as well. I just don't know how he does it. And Bike Therapy says he wasn't sacked. He was there to get DOGE going. Dum. I'm not dumb. But this is right. This is also the thing, is I think we will probably never know for certain, right? Was the plan all along that he would literally go, just get the wheels working on DOGE and then leave it and just completely leave it to other people? Or was he hoping to stay there and do more? But we've had all of these frustrations with him apparently being too big for his boots, disagreeing on tariffs, getting into trouble in cabinet meetings, getting in trouble for doing what looks like a Nazi salute and whatnot, not being able to contain himself, that Trump has thought, you know what, maybe, I was planning to keep him on and give him some other role, but actually I want rid of him because he's causing too much trouble. That may well be the case. John says SpaceX has to be Elon's ultimate priority. I think it should be, to be honest. I'm glad that he's brought cuts to cuts to the government. I'm sad to see the controversy that it's caused for Tesla and his businesses. But ultimately, this is a businessman. He is a very successful businessman, and I don't want to see his companies go under because of this gig at the government. You know, I hope it is the case that Elon Musk's plan all along was to just get Doge rolling and then get back to focusing on his business, but I'm not sure that was the case. I think there's been a lot of controversies around his involvement in the government, and I think that may well be why he's going to soon find himself without a job. Richie says Elon Musk didn't do a Nazi salute. His arm went out to the side. A Nazi salute, the arm goes out to the front. So the only controversy was that the MSM wanted to make something out of nothing. I know that he wasn't doing a Nazi salute. I'm not suggesting that he was, right? But do you not think doing that with your arm, it wasn't like you see all the time, you'll see like someone takes a screenshot of where someone's like in the middle of talking to a crowd and their arm for 1 second, goes out, that it gets screenshotted. He like properly put his arm out. Again, I'm not saying it was Nazi salute, but do you not think, right, when you're in politics, you've got to actually act with a little bit of common sense, like, oh, if I say that thing, or I do this thing, like, obviously people are going to spin that in the most ridiculous way. Like, you've got to have a little bit of PR common sense. And it is quite difficult if you're a politician, and you've got your prime minister or your president, and you've got someone around you who just doesn't have that common sense and not causing you press nightmares all the time. Very interesting comment from Batman Rubin, who says by not being part of Trump's team, he can now fund a new British political party without being accused of the USA government being involved. So this is very interesting, very good point. Could this mean support for the Reform Party? We know that there was that little fallout with Nigel Farage about Elon wanting Nigel to back Tommy Robinson, and and Nigel wasn't backing Tommy Robinson. We had that little fallout, but we get the impression that he still is behind the Reform Party. But there were these concerns about it being wrong for a US government essentially to be paying for a British political party, even if it's Elon Musk's personal money. The fact that he has a role in government, that is quite problematic, to be honest. If Elon Musk is now no longer got anything to do with the Trump administration, he's just a businessman doing his own thing, that actually that opens the possibility to Reform getting funded by Elon Musk. Will he be too annoyed about the Nigel Rupert Lowe situation? I don't know how much Elon has even been following it, but will that annoy him enough to not want to get involved with the Reform Party anymore? He clearly was very keen at one point. We saw he met he met Nigel Farage and Nick Candy in Florida and had a discussion about potentially funding the party. I don't think any funds have actually come about as a consequence, but he was interested. Has that interest died down now? I don't know, but very interesting point. Someone says Musk should form a new party with Lowe. I'm not sure that that's going to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if he sort of did it for the shits and giggles and said to Rupert Lowe, like, oh, here's some money, start your own party. I think he doesn't have the knowledge to realise that would be a stupid thing to do, to split up the right even more. It's difficult enough for Reform to get to a position where they're possibly able to win an election when you've got the right split into Reform and the Tories. Bring in another party as well? Hell no, no chance. Keir Starmer will be in number 10 for the rest of your life, okay? I hate to break it to you, but that's the reality. Michael thinks that Reform is not going to get any money from Elon Musk. So there we go. Mix of opinion. Oh, someone's left a super chat. Thank you very much for you on the doorstep. That's very generous of you. We really appreciate the support. He says, he or she, sorry, I don't know whether you're he or she. Musk was there to get Doge up and running and save the US billions. He may return in the future, but I think this is a good move for Trump. Similar to Lowe and Farage, could be a clash of egos. Interesting. So it sounds like there you're suggesting that maybe the breakup between Lowe and Farage was perhaps a good thing. That can be quite difficult when you have got two big personalities that are both leaders naturally, right? Elon Musk, being a huge businessman, right? He's a natural leader. He likes to be in charge. He likes to tell people what to do. Trump also is he's a businessman. He's used to being CEO. He's used to being on top. You put those two personalities together, that potentially causes some tension. And I do think that has contributed to the fact that Elon Musk is not being kept on after his, 130 days maximum in his current role. He's not being given something else, some kind of special role. Okay, so you're all welcome to your own opinions, of course, but I do think that this has got more to do with it than just Elon reaching the end of his 130 allotted days. Whether you guys want to call that firing or not firing, as I said, in a job, if your contract is not renewed, your boss decide they've put you on a temporary contract before giving you a permanent one, or you're on like a permanent one but it renews like every year. If it's not renewed, right, that's often when a boss fires you, right, is they wait for your contract to come to an end and say, I'm not renewing it. If that was done to me as an employee, I would say I'm being fired. But some of you might not say. You might just say, being let go, or being let go of when you were supposed to be let go of. But, we all phrase things differently. But I know that's riled some of you up in the comments. But anyway, we love a bit of controversy, don't we? So thank you very much for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.